Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yay!
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, hey, guys.
Oh, we didn't know you were there. We were waiting on you guys. What the fuck?
I know. It's been a while. How have we been waiting?
But I'm here with my sweatshirt on, my Batman sweatshirt, because it's cold as balls outside. What's up, Togato?
And I'm here.
Dominori Gato.
Rocking this shirt.
Oh, it would help if... Oh, I don't have YouTube downloaded.
Yeah. Jacob's behind for right now.
So, yeah, we'll have to look on that screen. But welcome, guys. Welcome to the horror vlog. You just finished The Shining. What did you think of it? The book or the movie? Do we get any snow? We got a couple of drops. Tell me, Will. Prodigal Son's Return. I know, and I got a very... Like the caption says, this is a very special horror vlog for you guys. Jeremy, don't
What?
look. I think there's a monster behind you.
Oh, wow, there is a monster behind me. Whew. This is a good one.
Yeah. Brought to you by Assassin's Creed Origins. Because my phone decided to be a bitch. That's what happened. But, yeah. Welcome to the horror vlog. I have a special co-host, Batman Dragon.
Me.
And we're going to start the show off with a really cool question for you guys. Now, we all love Stephen King, right? You know, that author, you know, who wrote a book about a clown or something. You know, a clown, you know. But what I want to know is what was y'all's first encounter? Like, how did you guys first come across Stephen King? Was it a book? Was it a movie you saw? For me and my brother, we have the exact same thing. We have Everything's Eventual. Mom, we were at the library, and Mom told us we could pick out a book to read. Well, she reads us. So me and him was in the scary section because we always love scary stuff. And we chose this one because it has a bunch of short stories, so it'd be quick to read. And what are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Just continue being weird.
Oh, I'm good. I feel like I'd hear people better if I was speaking through my mic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just want to do some props.
But yeah, this was the very first time we've ever come across Stephen King. We had no idea who he was. We just picked up the book and we was like, okay, let's go for it. So then I kind of looked up more of his books. What's up, Hemingway J? Sorry, I put my finger in your guys' face. But I read it in Pet Sematary in high school. Oh, you first came across it by me. That's kind of cool. Watching the Stand By Me. That's one of my family's favorite movies. I found him through The Long Walk. A high school teacher gave it to me. He asked me if I'd like something scarier than what I heard reading Goosebumps. I guess mine is it. I'm not a big Stephen King fan, but I am a fan, but not a big fan. Okay, my brain died reading that. But yeah, we all love Stephen King, and my biggest question, if you're just now joining, the biggest question that I have is, how did you guys first come across Mr. Stephen King? Did you go into a library and some guy say, hey, you should, if you like scary stuff, you should check out this Stephen King guy? Or did you just so happen to catch a movie on and was like, damn, that was a good movie. Who wrote that? Stephen King. For Stephen King.
I'll say my first encounter was the same thing.
Third ghost in a Christmas
I didn't
Carol.
know though. So let's put it this way: when my mom read this story to us, I knew that this was, a book, and it was very interesting. The stories were really good. But I'll say the first time I actually knew it was Stephen King, because when I was read this book by Mom, you knew who he was, but I was kind of like, oh, okay, I don't know who Stephen King is. It's just these stories Mom's reading us or whatever. My first encounter of Stephen King was this movie right here. It was on TV one day at my grandma's house, and I remember Grandma saying that it was a scary movie and I probably shouldn't be watching it, and I said, I want to watch it though. And
So we watched it anyway, of course.
so I watched it, and at the very end it said Stephen King's It, so that was my actual knowledge of knowing this was actually Stephen King.
The first time I guess why I got so big into it was because of my aunt and my uncle. We went to their house and stayed, and my uncle is a big Stephen King fan, had all his books, everything at the time.
He even had some beside his toilet to read when he took a crap.
Yeah. But I was just looking at his book collection. I was like, who's Stephen King? And he gave me, I think it was Pet Cemetery. And he's like, you need to read this one then. And I was like, okay, which I never did, but still. Well, I've read it eventually, but I didn't read it right then and there. But yeah, that was actually the first time I ever got really into Stephen King. I'm actually doing a book review on The Shining right now, working on a video. I did several book reviews in school of Stephen King, so I know how it is. I know all of my King facts because of y'all. First scary movie I ever saw was Halloween 4. I believe I saw it at my grandma's. First encounter with Stephen King was the It miniseries, but I didn't read anything by him till I saw Bag of Bones on my sister's shelf and read it. Loved him ever since. Nice. Bag of Bones, they did a really good job with the movie. I still haven't read that book, but I want to. Remember on the Netflix,
Oh yeah, that was
Netflix
a really
movie?
good one.
But yeah, that was my first encounter, and it's awesome that it was my very first book I ever bought of Stephen King's. Welcome, welcome, Chithadora. Chithadora the floor. Dora the Explorer. Oh, did you fix it?
Yeah, I fixed it
Oh,
for you so you have
thank
the
you.
comments right in front of you.
Yeah. That way I won't be probing you guys with my fingering you guys, if I will.
If you will.
Okay, but
Oh, he will.
the next question, speaking of Stephen King, what would you like to see Stephen King's next movie adaptation be? I was going to say The Talisman because that book was actually very good, and the whole time I read it, I was thinking, as a movie, I said this would be a really good movie. But then I thought it might tie in with The Dark Tower since I haven't read all the Dark Towers yet. So I thought I didn't want to say that as my choice. But my choice would be Doomakey. Simply because it's a very beautiful book, and I heard it was such an amazing story. So I think that this one should be adapted into a movie. What do you think, Jeremy?
Give me a second.
Rick. Where are we, Morty? We done stumbled upon the wrong video. Oh, God.
Keep talking now.
I asked what movie or book did you want to see adapted to a movie, sir?
Well, I'm just checking something first before I do.
Hey!
Answer that question, okay?
Fine, Jesus Christ.
Um,
Is there anything in here that I'd like to see? Ooh, Riding the Bullet was a part of this? Hell yeah, Riding the Bullet was excellent. But what about you guys? What do y'all think? The Running Man was a very good movie. The book was literally the exact same as the movie. Revival could be on Netflix. Yeah, they could adapt that to a Netflix movie. I didn't think about that. Cujo is a movie, but if you want to see a remake of Cujo, that would be good too.
Mr. Mercedes, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, and they do have a TV series of it.
And the guy who the killer thing?
Mr. Mercedes, yes. And they got approved of season 2 as well.
Then let's see, Eye of the Dragon.
Yeah, that
I'd like to see that. Or what's that other one? What is?
If you want to see a remake, what would it be?
A remake?
Yeah, like if they remade one of his movies or books, the way they did like Stephen King's It, where it's like super excellent. Which one of those would you like to see?
Misery would be a good one, yeah. But I think one I'd like to see would be The Stand.
Damn. That'd be a big ass remake.
But I love The Stand. I really did love The Stand. Another book that wasn't into a movie yet is
Pet
Blaze.
Sematary. The Long Walk should be a freaking movie. That was excellent.
Sure, I said.
Or at least an episode of something.
Blaze.
Blaze, yes. Blaze should be made into a movie. Because I absolutely love that book.
Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking of.
And Spaghetti is making a Pet Cemetery remake. That's cool.
You know what they should do? They should. Stephen King needs to write another book called The Zoo Cemetery, and that way, like, they bring back like a whole bunch of like giraffe monsters, like giraffes.
Oh my god! It's a zombie giraffe.
Could you imagine that though? Stephen King's Zootopia. Zoo Cemetery.
Zootopia.
And then like
make the Green Mile. Yeah.
I don't know about Green Mile. Green Mile was too good to be remade, I think. And plus, they probably just be like, let's put Morgan Freeman in there.
Well, let's keep Morgan Freeman. All right, and finally, keeping on the same track with Stephen King, we're going to go straight into the good. If you're new to the channel, I do a good, bad, and the why. Or I pick a movie and put it in the good category, where I pick a movie, put it in the bad category, stuff like that. But the good happens to go to Stephen King's It. Not this one, but the remake. This one's good too, don't get me wrong, but I don't have the remake, so that's why I'm holding this one up. I thought this said intercourse at first. I was like, what?
Intercourse.
It goes to intercourse. Stephen King's It, I thought, was perfection. If you take this movie and the remake, merge them together, it would be a perfect story, honestly. But the actors did an excellent job. The guy that played the clown, Bill Skarsgård, did excellent playing the clown. Everything like that. So
I watched it twice already.
Just absolutely incredible movie. What do you guys think? Did you guys like that remake, if you've seen it? I love the remake. I am obsessed. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that I have this little device.
If you haven't seen the new South Park episode, you should. Because it's got something in there that's hilarious.
I don't have the original small books of the Green Mile, but I do have them all in one paperback, which I find a lot easier. It's good to have the little ones, but oh well. I thought Pennywise was cute. LOL. Awesome movie too.
No, he's so cute. I just want to cuddle him.
Just look at him. Look at him. I want him to nibble on my arm.
Oh, arm. I was thinking nipples. Nipple.
What's up, Zeta Thorn?
Who?
Zeta Thorn, the anime guy.
God, he's scared of shit.
I know. Sorry.
There.
I have the Pennywise foot. You have the same one. There's one where he's got like blood all over his mouth.
And there's the wavy hair.
I want that one so bad. But moving on, we're going to be cutting off of Stephen King's. But don't worry, if you're watching this, please go back, comment below anything you want to talk about Stephen King in the comment section below. Since you stole the notebook, what is it? What's my next category? Zachama.
What is a good horror movie / movie series that desperately needs a sequel?
Oh yeah, because we were talking about remakes and stuff. I was going to move on to sequels. What is a horror movie or a movie franchise that you think deserves a sequel? It could be an old movie that only has one movie and you think it desperately needs a sequel, or... Why'd you get up close and personal with your camera?
I was waiting for you to stop talking so I could say what movie I want.
Oh, well, what would you like to see?
Scream 5.
You want to see a Scream 5 without Wes Craven?
Yes. Regardless of Wes Craven's not alive, there needs to be a Scream 5. I don't know why, but there needs to be one. I know they got the TV series going
Freddy
on.
vs. Jason Part 2. I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely needs a Part 2 to that one. Another Sinister would be excellent too. I'm taking a hiatus until New Year, where I'll make an anime DVD Blu-ray collection update. Okay. I really do like your collection. Fuck you, Jeremy.
You don't have to touch the screen personally if you've got it.
I'm sorry. I love touching them.
But yes, Scream 5 for me, because I know that Wes Craven's not alive anymore, and that it would be a really, really hard time making the movie without his inspiration. But I really want to see Scream 5 be made, because I think it was such a good series of movies. And I miss, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, the other girl who I can't remember her last name, her full name, but
bring back Scooby-Doo
Cindy Prescott
or Shaggy.
But
let's bring Scooby-Doo into the
Scooby-Doo and the Scream, and the mystery of the Scream movies. But I just think that series was too good.
What's your favorite scary movie? I don't like scary movies.
But I just like scary movies. I really like Scream series so much that I just really think we need
one I'm going to get slapped for is they need to make another Paranormal Activity movie.
No.
Yes, to settle it all once
God, no.
and for all. They can't just leave us hanging like they did with the last movie. Because that's bullshit. Another Paranormal Activity movie. So even though they've gotten so far downhill, they need to make one more too.
Well, we know they're going to make another Children of the Corn Child's Play movie, because they got to finish what they started.
I do want to see one other one.
Dracula.
No. Dolls 2. I love Dolls. Dracula!
It's like, why?
Dolls number 2. No, take that back.
Dead Silence.
Yes, Dead Silence, but, the Collector and the Collection. They need one more. The Collected. Yeah, they need to bring that one.
Hashtag collected, guys. Comments.
Do all of them.
Jacob, I swear to God.
This one, Stranger Things Season 3. Hell yeah, me too. I keep forgetting about that, sorry. It's out of habit.
Out of habit.
Yeah, more. Child's Play 8 is already almost finished. Yeah, and they finished the third movie into the Unbreakable Split series. It's going to be called Glass, and it's actually completely done being filmed.
Oh, do you know what else they're making that we all forgot about? Purge, The Island.
Oh, yeah.
That comes out next year, I do believe, and that's going to be the final Purge movie.
I like the Georgie's death in the new movie better.
I also believe that there's a new Insidious movie.
Yeah,
the Insidious movie comes out in January or February.
But I'm talking about ones that you think they need to have one.
House 2.
Oh, yeah, House. I forgot about that one. Wait, let's go back to the old House movie. Remember?
God, I'm not talking about
House and then House 2.
I'm talking about the book that was written by
They should make
Peter
a third
Straub.
one of that, though.
Another Joyride.
Oh, hell no. Okay. Next segment.
No. Before we do, you know a book that needs a sequel?
What?
It.
It too. They could. Stephen King has hinted several times that it is still alive.
Exactly. We need an It too. We need an It too, and the next generation of kids from that place.
Stephen King, are you listening?
Yes.
It too. Put the 2 in front of it, and it'll be tit.
Wait, wasn't there another beast from that's exactly like it from the Dark Tower?
Oh, you mean Beauty and the Beast?
Remember Dark Tower? Didn't they say that there was a being that was exactly like it?
Yeah, it's supposed to have been.
They should have It versus Dark Tower. No, I got it. Perfect book idea ever. Stephen King, be prepared for this. It versus Cujo.
Oh, okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Just the clown is trapped in the car, and he's like, "Shit, I can't get out." Damn Cujo out there.
I couldn't think of any other.
I can't turn into what it's afraid of, a bat, because it's already been.
Oh no, Kathy Bates versus It.
Oh, she'll cut his leg off. I'm your number 1 fan. Okay, we're gonna cut this from Stephen King, but we're gonna move on to the next segment, which is the top 5 best zombie movies ever. Now, we all love zombie movies, except for that guy in the corner.
Especially this guy.
Yeah, this guy right here is a huge zombie fan. Norman Reedus versus The Pipeline.
Versus The Pipeline.
The Stand 2 is what the one guy said.
That'd be kind of cool. Norman Reedus versus It.
Mm-hmm. Norman Reedus wins.
Chuck Norris versus It.
Yeah, we all love
Zombies.
zombie movies.
Yeah.
You know, popcorn movies.
Especially me. Like, I love zombie movies a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what it is, but even
And
the
honestly,
cheesiest ones I love.
Honestly, I had to go to this guy for this because I'm not too knowledgeable
Because I own almost all the zombie movies.
about zombies.
I'm still missing a few, though.
But go ahead. Tell them your constructed
All
top
right.
5 zombie movies and why.
So, the top 5 best zombie movies, starting at 5. Number 5 is Night of the Living Dead, which is the very, very first George A. Romero zombie movie. It wasn't... Now, I'm not going to say it's like the best high-tech zombie looks or anything. It's the bare minimum of what a zombie movie started out to be. But George A. Romero made the zombie genre what it is, and he made it what we have today. We wouldn't have had it if it wasn't for George A. Romero. And not just that, but the movie itself, The Night of the Living Dead, had a statement in society itself that people didn't realize, and that was, this was the very first time that a black actor actually was the lead character in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because in other movies that you watched, there was white main characters and everything, but this is the very first black African-American lead actor, and people were pissed because they're like, "What? You can't have a black actor be the lead character in a movie." And George A. Romero didn't give a crap. He
was like, "Fuck you guys."
It was a statement that it was one of the very first statements in a movie that actually stated that we didn't need a white lead role to make his point.
I remember that.
But of course, he ended up dying at the end. If you haven't watched this, are spoilers. But if you haven't seen it yet, God, dude, I don't know what you've been doing this whole time.
But wasn't that a black and white movie?
It was a black and white movie, but it was still.
So was that guy like super black in the movie?
Have you never watched Night of the Living Dead?
Long time ago, back in school, we had to do a project.
But that is a good movie, and he was.
Yeah, it was
like
good.
I said, he was one of the very first black lead actors in a movie, and it was controversial for a lot of other reasons. But the movie itself was super good too. Yeah. Number 4, House of the Dead 1 and 2. House of the Dead 1, amazing movie. You know, a bunch of college students trying to find a bus or trying to get on a boat to get to this island. They get there and they see the party's pretty much over, and they're like, "Man, we missed the party. Well, we'll have our own party of our own." And then they realize that the party wasn't over. It's just it was interrupted from a zombie outbreak, and the sequel was more about the SWAT team going together to.
It's very rare that a sequel is better than the original, but I loved that sequel.
Well, if you don't know what House of the Dead is actually based off of a video game. An arcade video game where you play as a guy, run through and you shoot zombies and you go through level after level. And actually in House of the Dead, they actually go into that first person, like...
They do.
Shooting
so cool.
Video game style. And then the second one, it is more of like the video game where it's
one was really
trying to find patient zero at this college university, and it was really, really good. I love House of the Dead.
Yeah,
number three in my top 5 is Diary of the Dead. Now, if you have not seen Diary of the Dead, it is also a George A. Romero movie, which is pretty much the majority of the movies on this list. Look up and make sure Land of the Dead is a George A. Romero movie. I don't think it is, but for some reason I think it is.
Actually.
But Diary of the Dead is basically about these people who are filming a movie during the apocalypse, this time, and they don't know that there's a zombie outbreak. They're just filming a movie, and they're on their way back from filming, and they see somebody on the road, as basically a zombie, and they realize that there is a zombie outbreak.
George A. Romero, written and directed by George A. Romero.
That's what I thought. And so in Diary of the Dead, basically this guy continues to film, even though he realizes that he shouldn't, but he just realizes there's so much going on that he should film, and he keeps watching videos on the internet. And of course, in most zombie apocalypse movies, when the zombie outbreak takes place, computers don't work and TVs don't work. But in this one, the internet's still working and people can still upload videos. And there's people uploading videos of them having fun killing zombies and making games out of it. And so, basically the whole movie, they're going through trying to survive. They go through, an outbreak area. They find help. And then they realize, at the very ending, the biggest reason I like this movie is at the very ending, he makes a statement about if they're really if the zombies are really the monsters, or are we, because the way that the humans were using the zombies for fun, even though these are people's family members that turned and stuff like that.
Yeah, people were really messed up how they treated the zombies. They like had one hanging on a noose while they were playing pinata with it.
Yeah.
And the quote just at the end of the movie is, "Are they the monsters or are we?"
Yeah, it was.
It was a really deep movie, but it was very good though.
Number 2, Land of the Dead, which again, what we just said, is another George A. Romero movie. Land of the Dead was one of the first zombie movies that the zombies were more intelligent, because the enemy in the movie they were smart zombies. They were able to use guns, actually think about what they were doing. And so, like, the coolest part was when they were going from, like, one area to another, and they thought they escaped the zombies, and then they were walking through the water, you know, and come out of the water on the other side. You know, it was such a good movie.
Want to smoke some Maui Wowie in a minute? The fuck?
Who said that?
Cameron Steele. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said Katie for a second.
No, I figured that would be Katie.
And, of course, number 1 is Dawn of the Dead, both original and remake. Now...
That's number 1.
Yeah.
Because that is the most known zombie movie basically ever, really.
And again, George A. Romero movie.
Yep. He was definitely an icon. He made the zombie genre.
And the thing is that out of all the zombie movies he made, you'd figure, well, like, aren't they just going to be exactly the same at some point, to the point where you can't just, like, be unique? But all of his zombie movies were unique to themselves. Mm-hmm. And you know it's a George A. Romero movie when it's of the dead. You know, it doesn't matter if it's Dawn of the Dead, Not of the Dead, Land of the Dead, House of the Dead. Well,
Dead of the Dead.
Well, House of the Dead, is not his. Of course, all of our movies were the dead.
That was just a real quick top 5, by the way. There is still a lot of good zombie movies. Like Shaun of the Dead was a very funny, but actually really
Shaun of the Dead was a really heavily based Dawn of the Dead parody. Yeah. Because it took a lot of things from Dawn of the Dead. You know, hiding out in that store and so that. But the reason I put the original and remake is because the original had some really, really good scenes, especially in the mall when it's just these 3 people and they kill all the zombies and they get this whole mall and they just see them acting normal. They're, you know, doing their hair, they're finding new clothes, and you're like, wow, they're finding some enjoyment out of this. And then these biker gang breaks in to the mall and they're trying to hide from them because they don't want them to realize, and it basically screws their whole situation up. And then the newer one, the remake, was just so good for the fact that there was, like, you know, pregnant girl, and, like, you know, they had that game where one was on one side naming what zombie looked like it was, and they were, like, basically making you know, themselves enjoy themselves during the apocalypse.
Yeah, I like that too.
It was such a good movie. Both versions were.
And of course, Walking Dead. Everyone loves Walking Dead.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a TV show. That's not a movie. So.
But speaking of zombies, is there a bad zombie movie? And this is the bad goes to.
Well, I would say there's plenty of bad zombie movies because there's so many of them made that they just, you know, there's a whole list of bad ones. But one that sticks out to me is Zombie Diaries. And this is not a George A. Romero movie. This was a B-rated movie made by this B-rated company. And what they had, the movie, like, the cover had this guy with a machine gun and this cool, like, mask. And there was another person with, like, ninja swords. And, like, I was like, holy crap, this is, like, you know, badass people, like, during the apocalypse kind of thing. And when I watched the movie, there was none of that. The whole back cover and front cover was not even in the movie. Like, it was 4 people recording their vacation in the woods. They get attacked by zombies, and it shows them going from place to place, trying to keep themselves from dying in the zombie apocalypse. And then they end up meeting with these cannibal people.
Where the last guy ends up dying in a barn, like,
yes.
thing? Oh, well, hell with that movie.
Yeah, it was so bad. And it sucked because when the cover and everything, and the back cover looked so interesting. It actually looked like a cool Resident Evil rip-off B-rated movie, and it wasn't even that. It was a complete, you know, rip-off movie, and it wasn't even a good zombie movie for what it was. Yeah. So that's why I'd say that was the worst zombie movie I've watched at least one of. And Humans vs. Zombies is another horrible one.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Humans vs. Zombies is what it always is, and it was like, I get you're trying to make this whole, like, the game that people play called Humans vs. Zombies, but it was bad. It was not enjoyable at all. But since we're on zombies, I know you do the...
Chitadora wants to know. I don't know how to properly say his name, but he wants to know what would you do in a zombie apocalypse.
What I do in a zombie apocalypse?
Probably just dives for me. I'd be like, fuck it.
Personally, I have two ideas. If my friends and family were okay, and we were all together, we would survive by finding some place that is secure enough and get enough supplies to last us a long time.
I beat the zombies at their own game and eat them.
But if the zombie apocalypse started and I found out my mom and dad was dead, my brother was dead, and my friends were dead, and I was alone. Because, you know, like Walking Dead.
Because I can't survive.
If you watch Walking Dead, there's a bunch of people who in The Walking Dead that they're just like their whole families are gone. I would just die because there's no point in living and surviving if the people you love is gone.
Alexis
and what kind of life can
die,
you have?
Either her or you would die of fear, depression, and starvation.
Yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't last long.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're talking about zombies, and I know you have the good, the bad, and the why, and since I'm the video game vlogger, I'm just going to throw in there the best video game.
But it's not scheduled.
The best video game zombie movie, zombie thing? Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead.
Fun as hell.
Oh, they're not going to do any number 3s.
They will. They will.
Actually,
they're working on the 3rd box.
The company did come out with a new Portal-like game, though.
I'm just saying, like, they have never made it to the 3rd game. Like, if you look at all of their games, they've never made it to a 3rd game. Valve's making a 3rd box. They have to be.
Moving on to the next subject, which is actually where I give the control to you guys. Do you guys have any questions for us? Thought you say Resident Evil 4, Jeremy.
Well, I do love Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4 is by far the best of the entire series.
Yes.
I will say that. Number 4 is the best of the entire video.
The reason I say Left 4 Dead is just because I think Left 4 Dead is just so much fun because you play as characters survived in a zombie apocalypse, and your whole thing is just to keep going through and
plus
killing
it's
zombies.
Like hordes after hordes and unique zombies like, you know, Jumper and the Tank.
There's plenty of good zombie games. I mean, there really is. You could go on for days with zombie games.
But yeah, I thought that, you know, here I am all the time asking you guys questions. Well, is there any questions that you guys would like to have that are horror related? Do the top 5 best comedies, like horror comedies. Are you in a better mood, Jacob? Okay.
Yes, he is.
I'm a little. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Best 5 horror comedies. Well, I would put
Scream.
The Babysitter up there.
Oh, Babysitter was hilarious.
Because that was hilarious.
Paranormal Activity.
Yep, Paranormal Activity. God. Oh, my friend El Manuel. This ain't a very good movie, by the way, but it is pretty funny. It's called Paranormal Whacktivity. Yeah, just
Isn't it by the Wayans brothers?
No, but
speaking of Wayans brothers,
there is one better though. Shit, what's it called?
What is this? The movie he made.
Be
called?
White Black.
White Black.
You continue telling some comedy ones.
A comedy movie that's really hilarious is the Wayans brothers did a paranormal movie. Joe, what was it called?
Oh, A Haunted House.
A Haunted House 1 and 2. 1, not so good, but 2, I'm telling you, I watched the second one so many times and laughed so many times that it's not even funny.
Supernatural Activity was
go.
the one I was thinking. Supernatural Activity is the funniest one.
Which horror character and creature would you least like to face?
It. Probably, because it could take the form of many things that you're afraid of. What's another one? Silent Hill in general. I wouldn't want to wake up in Silent Hill.
Yeah, I really want to wake up in Silent Hill. Evil Within would be kind of scary too. But what creature? I guess I would hate to be chased by zombies. And the reason I say zombies is because you know what? The zombies are the people. It's not just that. It's not just that.
Athletic zombies.
But imagine you are trying to go make it to your home to see if your family's alive, and you get there, and I walk in, and he's a zombie. That's the worst thing in the world, because my brother's dead, but he's right in front of me trying to eat me. I think that's just horrible, because the people you're after, the people that you be fighting, the zombies are people that have just turned. But the worst creatures in any horror movie is us.
Look at that body.
Don't you agree?
Yeah.
It's us.
Yeah, the worst creatures
People.
are humans.
Because if you watch The Purge, it shows you what kind of people, how people are scary to
This
themselves.
has to do with the It book, so spoilers if you haven't read it. Do you think Ben and Ben at the end of the book forgot each other or that they're loved? Oh, Bev, gotcha. No,
Yeah.
they actually got married and had kids.
Yeah, they broke the curse. Everybody broke the curse.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some of
At
them.
least if I can remember correctly, I know the movie. In this movie they did, but I can't quite remember how the book was.
The book
But,
they remembered.
I'm
The
pretty
only
sure
person
that
who didn't
they-
remember anything was the black guy. I can't think of his name.
It starts with an M.
Mike
Mike Hanlon.
McCanlon. He's the only one who forgot everything because he literally.
Well, the others did forget. They forgot their friendship and forgot stuff too.
But how would that have? I thought they
Mike,
broke the curse
he
completely.
wrote everything he wrote everything down. Hence why we have a book, technically.
I thought the reason why Mike forgot was because because of the
No.
injury from
As
getting
soon as
stabbed.
it was done, they all started to forget
So how would have Beverly and Ben forgot
because
each other?
they were in love.
But then, I mean, I guess that makes sense if they all would have stuck
Because
together. They would have not.
remember she was in
Yeah.
Beverly was in the trance and Ben kissed her and
See, it's still a
snapped her out
horrible
of that
ending.
trance.
It's still a horrible ending if they all
Not
forgot
really.
each other.
They went through a terrorizing time. Like, would you want to forget that?
Not really. Because I would
I mean,
want to remember.
I want to remember the friendship, but it's just.
Yeah, I think Stephen King did a horrible job on that ending. You shouldn't have made them forget each other.
Girls killed Mike's dog with poisoned meat, Mr. Chips. Oh, yeah, I do. That's pretty fucked up. If Freddy Krueger gave you his hat and claw and said you're the next Freddy, would you do it or not with all the stuff he can do?
I wouldn't.
I would, but I wouldn't kill the people. Like, I would just mess with them so bad. Because he could alter your dream to however Freddy wants it.
Oh,
But
so
I
you
just
just
wouldn't
mess
kill
with people
them.
really badly?
Yeah, I'd be
Because
like...
Because that would give them complete psychological permanent damage, and then they would be able to live the
So
rest
you're
of their
thinking
lives horribly.
you thinking it's mercy that I kill him?
I think it's better to just kill them.
Well, fuck. Okay,
I
we
mean,
got
shit.
ourselves a psychopath.
I mean, shit,
here.
if you're just going there and you're gonna be like toying with them, molesting
not
them in their
saying,
dreams
like,
and shit.
I didn't say
like,
anything about
you said
molesting
messing.
them. I
You said messing with
yeah,
them.
like you're popping out as a clown, like scaring them, and then just
If I was
in the
Freddy
dream.
Krueger and I had his powers, you know what I would do?
yeah,
I'd give them
Jeremy's
their-
brutal.
I'd give them their wildest dreams come true. I'd give them the things that they would want the most in life in their dreams, because dreams should be pleasant, not horrible.
I want to show them monsters in their dreams.
Alright, how many more questions do we want to answer here?
That was all, because I got a lot more to talk about.
I'm not feeling brutal. I'm just saying, if you're going to mess with people, at least finish
I'm
them
just gonna
off.
mess-
Like,
I'm just
damn.
gonna mess with them. I'm just gonna mess with them.
Just rather permanently scar them or
Um,
just kill them.
Next up was going to be the main topic, but I'm going to switch it. We're going to go to the why. Why the hell was it made? I gave it to a movie called Come Back to Me. Now, have y'all seen it? It's called Come Back to Me. It's about this guy who has this ability to bring people back from the dead. And he kills people, but then brings them back. When they come back, all their scars, everything is clean. Even ones that they were born with. Like, let's say you had a pacemaker in your heart, and this guy slit your throat. And then he leans over to him and goes, "Come back to me." And they come back the next day alive. They won't have that. They won't have that pacemaker because they were like completely healed. But the reason why I put that movie as why the hell was it made, simply because of how it ends. Now, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Like, if you have not seen this movie, I do want to tell you why it made my thing, but I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Give us a room tour if you do tell you. Okay, I will one day, probably. But basically, it just has one of those endings. Like, as you're going through the whole movie, you're sitting there and you're like, man, I hope this works out. I hope that they stop this guy from killing and stuff. And then once it gets to that ending, and you're like, oh, everything is fine, then you're like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden the credit starts rolling. And I will say this, people die while the credits are rolling. Just it's playing this nice little melody tune while it's showing all these people die. And I was like, what the hell is this? So yeah, that if you have not seen it, I would advise you to watch it just for the simple fact that once you're going to hit that ending, you're just going to be like, what was the point? It is based off a book. I just can't think of the name of that book. I think Resurrection Man.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Man. Is what it's based off of. But yeah, that was my why the hell. It's called not Better Watch Out. No. Come Back to Me. All right. Next topic is going to be one of my biggest announcements for this channel, for my horror vlog, and you guys are going to get really excited about this one. It is the name of my horror vlog. I call it Project Horror. Now, what it is, it's an ultimate interaction between me, if someone joins me, like my brother is now, and you guys. Basically, I do horror vlog just about once a week, right? Sometimes.
You took a break, I think, for a week or 2 days.
Yeah. But what we're going to do, what Project Horror is every week I'm going to have you guys choose a horror movie. You don't have to tell me what it is, but everyone watches a scary movie. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the day that I do the vlog. It doesn't have to be the very next day, just whenever you have time. But when we come back to the next horror vlog, I want you guys to tell me what horror movie you chose, and then I want you guys to tell me your rating of it. Whether it was good and it deserved 10 out of 10, whether it was very bad, it deserves like 1 out of 10. But for example, I am choosing Better Watch Out as my Project Horror for the week. So I have a week to watch this movie, and when I come back to the next horror vlog with you guys, I will tell you whether or not I liked the movie or, hated the movie and give it a rating. So I want you guys to do the same. I want you guys to choose a movie, a scary movie, watch it, and then when I come the next horror vlog, I want you guys to, in the comment section below, write what movie you chose, whether it was good or not, and what you would rate it. I think it would be a fun little project for us to do. It's a way to, get to know some more scary movies.
I like that idea.
We can up it, I could come up with other stuff to it, but as of right now, that's what I had in mind for Project Horror. So for my Project Horror, I will be watching Better Watch Out. It's that new Christmas horror movie that just came out. It's basically Home Alone, but really realistic. Yeah, like El Manuel, he said he watched a movie called Life After Beth, and he gave it a 0 out of 10 because he said it was shitty as can be. But yeah, just pick a random horror movie. It could be Netflix. It could be something you own.
If you're going on Netflix to pick out some scary movies, I have some very good recommendations.
Yeah, but that's not the point. We're not telling them.
I'm just saying recommendations of like if they want to see a horror movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like I have
but
some
at the
really
same
good
time, they get to recommend stuff to us during this project.
Oh, I get that. I'm
like
just
like now, El Manuel said it was a bad movie, but somebody else could watch it and think it was a great movie. So they'd be like, "Oh, it's called Life After Beth. I'll have to look it up and see what I think."
Yeah, because you know the movie I'm talking about. Remember the movie with the girl who played Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Melissa Joan Hart?
Yeah, remember the movie I'm talking about? Where they're in that basement? tied to that thing, and every hour he's going to kill someone.
Yes.
Nine lives. Nine. I think it's something like that. But it is such a good movie. If it's not on Netflix anymore, you should just type in Melissa Joan Hart horror movie and find this movie. It is so good. Honestly, good. One of the biggest surprises,
mind blown, yeah,
ever.
But yeah, this is going to be my project horror for the week. Do y'all want to borrow the movie, Life After Death?
Oh, sure, why not?
Yeah, might as well.
We'll find out if it's bad or not.
But yeah, do you guys like that idea? Yay or nay?
I like
just let me know in the comment section below.
Perfect.
And perfect.
Also, guys, I want to interrupt Jacob for 1 second for his chat.
That's fine. I only got one more topic left, and that's it.
Okay. Well, I have one interruption because I have something I was wanting to talk about to you, and we might as well do it on your channel.
Let's just, no, I'm just kidding.
But you all know that Jacob is one of the biggest horror fans ever. I mean, he wouldn't be doing a horror vlog once a week. He wouldn't have Funko Pops or Stephen King collections or half the horror movie videos that he does. I mean, he could easily have rented this movie just to see if it was good, but he bought it because he loves horror movies.
Yes.
But there's something he also loves doing that he's never...
I have no clue whether this is good or not, but I bought it anyway.
Yeah. He loves playing horror video games, but there's one thing that he has not done that I know he wants to do, and I want every one of you all to inspire him to do it, and that is write a horror novel. This man has some of the greatest ideas I've ever seen. When he writes story ideas, he doesn't finish them, he doesn't write a whole lot, but he gives you like this little tiny description of what he wants to write, and I'm telling you all, inspire this man and give him influence to continue writing and actually do a book, because if he did...
I'll see it, Chikorita.
He would be up there with Stephen King, Peter Straub, and all of them if he would actually sit down and write the books. And that is my personal opinion, because I like some of your ideas, and I would love for you to finish writing them. I like them.
It's just when I get to writing them, I kind of just hit this point where I'm like, okay, this looks like it sucks, and then I quit.
But you don't quit, because Stephen King did the same thing with Carrie. He said it was a piece of crap, threw it in the trash can, and if he would have continued to do that progress, he would have never become the man he is today.
That's true.
And that is why me and all of them on YouTube are going to make sure you actually do it.
Okay.
And if you want, we will write a book together, because I have wrote a book. It's still in publishing process.
You all tell me what to write.
But I want this man to write his book. And I figured today would be the perfect day to tell him on video so he can be reminded that he needs to write books. Because he would be an amazing author if he actually went down and finished it.
Well, I'm gonna give it my best. I do have a lot of good ideas. It's just I'm looking for that one excellent idea. You know what I mean?
I understand, which is why we're going to get you
and it's really hard to do
started.
with horror, because there's so many horror stories out there.
But the things that you've written, not a lot of them have ever been done before. So
yeah.
This man's writing a book. You're hearing it here today. Right now, this man's writing a book.
I'll get started on it.
And when he does, you all will be the first ones to get to read it. Because we're going to create him an actual blog account where he can post some of his chapters for you all to read for free and put in the comments once he starts writing, so you all can start reading the books before it even comes out. And then when he actually publishes it on Amazon, because he's going to, because I'm going to keep pushing him
more than Amazon.
Well, we're going to start with self-publishing on Amazon. Is how we're going to start, and you all be able to pick it up. It's going to be a whole thing, because I'm going to be pushing this man to write these books.
You guys think I should go with a novel, one big story, or do you think I should go with short stories, like a collection of short stories?
I'm going to go with the personal.
I find it easier writing short stories.
But the thing is with short stories, Stephen King wrote short stories because they were little tiny stories that needed to be written that were not supposed to be long. But there's ideas that need to be dragged out, because I think you could tell better stories with a longer time.
Yeah.
And you can write Goosebump-sized books and still consider it a novel and not consider it
a... kind of true, I guess.
You know.
But I'll get started on it.
You better be.
But my final thing I wanted to bring to the table, if you will. Wow, it's only 49 minutes. I figured with all this it would be like almost 2 hours. But the final thing I wanted to discuss with you guys is the Horror Vlog Awards.
Oh wow! Look what he did. He stole from my channel.
No, if you remember last week,
Jacob, I was want to give you the idea to do it, so don't hear it.
But
Dodge,
but yeah, it is officially starting. Me and my brother are going to set things up. But here right now, we're going to have one award called the Viewers Award, which is the award that you guys are going to be picking. Is it supposed to be the best horror movie ever existed? Or
I would just do, no. Well, my suggestion for the awards was for you to do.
I meant just the one that they vote for, the viewer's choice. What
For the viewer, I think it should be. I think
you
should do two. One for the best horror movie of all times. Because I think that that's an award that should be given, or at least best. Okay. Yeah. But the one that I especially think you should do is the best movie of 2017 because it is a.
I'm going to.
So.
But for you guys, I think I'm going to leave it to you guys for the best horror movie ever. And I'm going to continue. Like, every year, we're going to have a horror vlog awards, and it's going to be different movies for the best movie ever. So, right at the end of this, not right now, but right when this video ends, and the comment section is open to where you can type a comment below, I want you to comment and nominate a movie that you think should be horror movie of ever. That sounds stupid, but best horror movie
of ever.
Of all time.
Of ever.
But yeah, I carefully am going to look at every single person. I need everyone to get involved. If one person just writes one thing and that's it, well, I'm guess that award goes to that one. So I want you guys to get involved. I want you to comment and nominate your choice of what you think will be the best horror movie ever. And I'm going to cycle through them, and I'm going to pick a total of probably 5 or 10, maybe 5, depending on how many. If there's like a million nominations, then I'll pick 10. But if there's like only like 20 nominations, then I'll pick 5. And then on my horror vlog, the last vlog before I do the award show, I will tell you guys what those 5 are, and I want you guys to vote which one out of the 5 you think deserves. And popular choice wins the whole thing. So, we will leave it open to you guys. So like I said, please get involved. Have some fun with it. That's what this is all about. Just us hanging out. No. Getting involved. And talking about stuff that we love, which is scary related stuff. Horror movies. Horror in general. So
sounds good.
Yep. That's all I wanted to announce. Next week you will hear a lot more. The whole episode's going to be basically talking about the horror vlog awards. But as of right now, we are getting it started. I want you to comment below this video whenever it comes available to where you can comment and nominate your favorite choice for horror movie of all time. So, did y'all have fun? Y'all like this horror vlog? Y'all said the last one was too short, which it was. It was very short. But I was able to get this in 53 minutes. What do you guys think? Did y'all have fun?
I did.
No comments? I'm just
kidding. I think everybody's gone.
Yeah, I think everyone just left. They're like, fuck this.
Because it says one viewer, and I think that's this.
That's just LML. Well, LML, what do you think?
Oh,
yeah, I had fun.
Knew you was here.
I knew you were there. You're always there. You're always there for me. Whenever I need you. Just like this monster. Oh no, Jeremy. Oh, there's a monster in the chest. Sorry, I had to.
Okay, then.
But anyway, I'm shoving my muscles.
Or Jacob's just trying to drag out the video by showing off his muscles.
Shut up. I've been lifting weights, okay? Okay, I've been lifting weights.
Well then.
By the way, that was a 40-pound dumbbell.
Dumbo.
Dumbledore.
40-pound Dumbo.
That's a 40-pound Dumbledore. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining the horror vlog. The reason why I titled it special is because, well, it is. This is a very special episode. The announcement of the horror, Project Horror, the announcement of my horror vlog awards is officially up and running. Special guest Jeremy, aka Batman Dragon, of course. So, yeah.
I'll probably have videos sometime this week, maybe. We'll see.
But thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And I think that's all. Did I skip anything? Nope. In that case, I guess I'll move my headset before I get it broken. Taking a deep breath because I'm running out of air. See you guys in the next video. There's skis.